Hello everybody, happy Tuesday. I'm Jennifer Bell. If you are new to my channel, I hope that you will had a great Valentine's Day, whether you're single or not, because everybody deserves love and a peaceful day and to be celebrated. So today I just want to talk a little bit about yoga and some products I just bought, because I started yoga back in 2019, and honestly it's like the best decision I made. It's helped me get flexible. It's helped me kind of center myself a little bit. Having anxiety, it's a little hard because I just still get stressed out so easily. So it's been a process. Nothing's going to work overnight, whether you go to counseling, whether you do CBD, no matter what you do. So you got to understand that when you're working on mental illness, whatever you do is going to take a little bit of time. You've got to be willing to put in that time. And so I started yoga because I wanted something that was like fitness for my body, fitness for my brain. And so I started that back in 2019. I'd say probably closer to fall or winter. I started doing interval training first, and then I got recommended to yoga, and I've been doing it ever since. Although I did have about 7-month break where I kind of just let myself get into thinking that I didn't feel like it. And 7 months is a long time to not feel like it's a long time to feel like you don't want to do something that is good for you. And I understand that, and I want to say that it is okay to not feel like doing something, but when you're getting to the point that you feel like you're not going to get back into it, your body's just getting so used to not doing anything anymore, and then that's what it craves. So you don't ever want to take too long. Fitness is very important for you, and especially if you're doing yoga, it's just really great for you mentally and physically. It's helped me to get some balance, as far as like outside balance, doing some of the poses. It has helped me to be able to get some strength, to be able to do things that I didn't think I could do before. Like I said, a lot of the poses, to be able to breathe. I usually don't breathe during my exercises, but it's helped me a lot to realize that it's easier to do the poses, and it's easier to get through workouts when you're focusing on your breathing rather than, oh, my knee's hurting, like this, this hurts, this isn't fun. So if you focus on your breathing, it's a lot easier to do a lot of the harder things. Like if you have trouble in chair pose, tree pose, plank, stuff like that, just breathe it out. That really helps wonders. And so this package is basically some yoga equipment that I had bought because, some of the routines that I follow, they require 2, and I only have 1. So, you might need one under your head, under your shoulders, like between your shoulder blades. And so it's kind of hard to do both of those when you only have 1. And so I decided to get 2, and then that way I can give the one I already have to my daughter, see how she does with that. Then I could get her a new one. But that is this. So the brand is Syntys, and I got this off online, off Amazon, and it was a kit. This is the second one. So there is 2. And what I love about these is that if you can't reach all the way to the ground or anything like that, you could kind of balance yourself on that, and then it can still help you get into the pose, but you don't have to go all the way down and hurt yourself. Because with yoga, you don't want to hurt yourself. And also, I do want to say that I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just giving, information based off my experience. So it also comes with this yoga accessory set work guide, which is pretty cool. Oh, so yeah, it tells you how to use the yoga strap, resistance loop bands instruction sheet, so stuff like that. So just a little booklet that kind of helps you to be able to use this equipment correctly, because you definitely want to use it correctly or you will hurt yourself. Even though it's yoga, and sometimes people just think about it as like lazy and just so chill all the time. A lot of the routines can really get into it. As you move on through yoga and you get more progressive, you'll notice that it does move. Sometimes it can move really faster paced. Not as fast as like interval training, but you're just sailing through the routines a little easier, a little more smoother. And so you want to you don't want to hurt yourself starting out. You want to take your time. If you can't stretch a certain way, don't do it. Do the best you can. Don't put too much strain on certain body parts to force yourself into a pose, just try to look like the instructor, because you're going to hurt yourself. The point is that you're easing yourself into it over time so that one day you can stretch the way that they are. And they'll even tell you, you know, if you find a good one, they're going to tell you, don't force yourself into it. Don't, you know, it's going to take time to do it. Like, it may have taken them 10 years to get to that point. I've even followed like some interval training instructors online, and they'll say that it took 10 years to be able to do a lot of stuff. So these are the bands, and I like these because they're color coded and they tell you exactly what they're for. So this is extra heavy, the black. I'm gonna take these out. I've never used yoga bands before. So these should be like, I hope that these don't rip really easily, because you know sometimes when you get cheap, it rips really easily. Well, this kind of stinks. It smells like balloons. Sometimes I like the smell of balloons and sometimes I don't. So this is the heavy, the red. We're gonna find out what these are for, because I've never used these kind of bands. I'm assuming they're kind of like regular booty bands, like the bands that you use during regular workouts. But these should be more kind of like for yoga, because it's not, you know, like interval training is kind of has some of the same things, like stretching and stuff like that, but I'm assuming that these are kind of like that, just to help you be able to get more out of your yoga. So this is the light, the blue. Like I said, I'm just assuming because I'm not an instructor, but I just like taking you guys on my journey and letting you know what's going on. Because if you're a novice to yoga, it helps to follow someone else. You want to follow someone else who's been at it for a while, but it's also nice to follow somebody who's kind of on a journey with you that's still trying to figure things out, because then that way when you're messing up, you don't have to feel like you're the only one. Like, there's times where I've been doing certain poses that I've been doing since I started, and it's just kind of like starting at square one. Or, you know, sometimes I'm more balanced than other times, like during tree pose and stuff like that. And you know, like planks, I go back and forth. Sometimes I feel really strong, sometimes I don't. And this is the medium. Ooh, my daughter's hair on it from here. This is the yellow. And then I also have, you know, it's just really good to have the right equipment, because it really helps you. It really helps you do the workouts a lot easier, because, you know, some of them you can use a belt, but you need to use one that's long enough. If you're using one that ends up being too short, you're not going to get anything out of it, because the point is like trying to stretch out your legs. A lot of, you know, like straps and stuff, if they tell you can use a belt instead, use it while you can, but work on getting stuff like this, because it really and truly helps. So I'm going to show you kind of how this goes. So you put your foot into it. Ooh, try and do this so you guys can see. So and see how long that is. Like, this way you can actually hold. I'm gonna grab this. It really helps a whole lot doing, like, when you're laying on your back and then you're doing like the leg stretches. This helps. My foot's probably a little dirty. So you have to see my ugly feet. But yeah, so this is a strap. And so these are just like little spots where you can put, I'm assuming you can put the bands. I don't know. We're going to find out though. But you know, I just got tired. Like, I had a belt that worked before, but then it got ripped. And so yeah, it's much shorter now. But this is basically what it looks like. So it's the handles, which makes it really easy to grip. So that way you're not like trying to hold like this, because sometimes, you know, that can just get really hard. So it's a lot easier to have the actual handles. And then it's got the little spots, which, like I said, I'm assuming that those are for like the booty bands. I don't know. We're going to find out though. But this is going to, at least this is going to help me when I do my leg stretches. Because I've got a lot of scar tissue in my knees, and it just makes it really hard when I don't have the right equipment to be able to stretch, because then it's a lot easier when I have something like this, because my knee already isn't wanting to go straight. And if I don't have something that's going to kind of give me that leverage to be able to have it up, I'm going to find every excuse in the world to not stretch it. And I just find it, you know, when I have the longer belt, it was much easier to stretch my leg straight rather than kind of like letting it go like this, because that's the tendency my knee wants to do. I had surgery on my kneecap a long time ago, and it just doesn't want to go straight. So if I have this at least this way, this could kind of force it to go straight. It's just kind of weird how to explain it. It's just kind of like when you have this, it just feels mentally like your knee just automatically wants to go straight, versus when you're trying to fight like to do it yourself, your knee just isn't going to want to, because of the pressure you feel, like the weird feeling you feel, because it's just like not wanting to straighten out, especially the scar tissue. It can either hurt or you just feel stuff moving around. And so I'm just really glad I finally got one of these. It's just little stuff like this. Just build up your kit over time, and one day you're going to have everything you're going to need. You know, get yourself some little weights, or if not, use some water bottles. A lot of times they'll tell you can use full water bottles. You know, if you have some old ones, fill them up with some water. Make sure the caps are really tight so you don't get yourself soaked, and use those as weights, because you'd be surprised what you know, what they could do. Or use big cans of corn, you know, like the bigger cans that are like about this big, if you can grip them. Or I mean, I guess those probably wouldn't be the best suggestion. Maybe like the baked beans, the Bush's baked beans, a taller can, use that instead. Maybe not the big huge cans. Anyways, you know, just start building up stuff that you have. Make sure you have water on hand. I know a lot of times we used to hear that it's not good to drink water while you work out, but you want to keep yourself hydrated. You know, you want to drink a little bit. Don't just guzzle the whole thing down. Just drink a little sips and stuff like that. And then that way you're not getting distracted because your mouth is getting dry, like you're just feeling really sluggish. You know, and if you drink too much too fast, then that's when your belly is going to hurt. But just like take a little couple sips here and there. Then that way you can stay hydrated throughout, and then you don't have to worry about problems. Make sure you drink a lot of water after. But anyway, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you can comment below. I can try and answer them the best I can. Like I said, I'm not a yoga instructor. I'm not a doctor, but I just like to share, because that way, in case someone else is just starting out with yoga and they kind of feel like, I don't want to buy that stuff, like I'll just go without, it definitely helps to have some equipment. You want to have a nice yoga mat. You want to have some nice stretchy clothes, and stuff like that. And there's just so much that really helps to really get the most out of your routines. And sometimes just spending the money extra, the little extra money helps. So if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to see future videos, whatever comes up next, hit the bell so that you can get all future notifications. And yeah, so this is my yoga equipment. Ooh, I'm making a mess. My yoga equipment video. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys on the next time. Have a great day.